when we traded for Blake Griffin, we traded Tobias Harris, Avery Bradley, Boban, and a first round pick.
Yep.
And if you kind of think about that, that's kind of crazy. Like, you didn't really have to give up a star for a star, right?
Yeah.
Do you believe the Pistons, as constructed right now, have enough to go trade for a star right now?
Without losing Jaden Ivey, Cade Cunningham, or Jalen Duren? No, I don't think they have enough to trade for a star.
No, I mean like including them.
Oh, I mean, if you're including them, yeah, but I don't think you would get one of like the tier 1 or tier 2 stars in the NBA. And I mean, like, it kind of is crazy saying Cade probably wouldn't net you a top 15 player, because I think at the end of his rookie season, you probably could have made a case where he could have got you a top 15 player back. But with the with the multiple injuries he's had early in his career, I think that's thrown out the window. Jaden Ivey might get you. Jaden Ivey and Cade and Jalen Duren, they might get you a top 25 player, but I don't think they get you. And, I mean, it might be like a DeMar DeRozan, that they get you back, or like an aging star. They might do something like that. Like, if you consider Russell Westbrook a star, yeah, they might be able to get him back or something. But
that's what I was thinking, because, like, even if we sign some vets this offseason, maybe we get like another Alec Burks type or another Bojan type, like, the Pistons, when, SVG was still making the shots, still making the calls, like, Tobias Harris was the player in that deal that was probably the best player on the Pistons side. And the Clippers were happy to get off that contract. I just asked that question because, like, we've, accumulated talent with Cade, Ivey, and Duren. I think in a few years you may kind of see like a similar swing for a star that maybe an organization wants to get rid of. But that's just something I've been thinking about lately. I was just like, man, I said, we really got Blake for basically nothing. Like, the first round pick turned into Miles Bridges.
What was I thought the first round pick turned into Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
No, that wasn't our pick. That was because the Clippers had 2 picks.
Okay, that's right. I forgot that part. Yeah, so, man, that is interesting. Yeah. Do you think Troy Weaver is the GM that would make a trade like that, though, to bring in a star before the team is ready?
I don't know, because, like, I think if you look back to when Stan was here, like that 2015-16 roster when we won 44 games, like, I think the starting 5 was Reggie, KCP, Marcus Morris, Tobias Harris, Andre Drummond. And, like, we were winning games, 44 games. Like, we haven't won that since, SVG eventually did get fired. I believe that Troy could make a trade like that. It's just we haven't really seen more than, like, I think 24 wins so far. But I feel like if we make a jump this season, and, like, let's say we're like at 30 wins, maybe he pulls that trigger. Maybe Tom Gores gets a little bit like, hey, like, we got a lot of talent. Like, let's try to go get Brandon Ingram. Like, let's go try to get Jaylen Brown. Like, let's go get another wing to help Cade out. Like, I feel like you kind of have to keep an eye on that situation, because I think it will come. And I think the only way we can really, like, get a star is if we trade for one. Like, I can't remember the last time that we signed a star in free agency that was in his prime. Like, I can't remember. Like, maybe Chauncey, but Chauncey wasn't really regarded as a star. Like, he was a high lottery pick that kind of bounced around in the league. Like, I think for the Pistons, they always kind of trade for that star player. And I think I could see that within the next year or two, of where, maybe we make progressions in the win total and we try to, trade for that wing. Like I said, maybe an Ingram, maybe a Jaylen Brown, maybe, I don't know, maybe you take a gamble on Zion Williamson. I really don't know.
I was thinking about that too. Like, okay, do you think that they could, let's say they get the number 2 overall pick this year. Let's just say let's say they fall to 2. and there's a team that really wants Scoot Henderson.
Mm-hmm.
Could you see them? Could you see a team? We were kind of joking around about this, but you mentioned Brandon Ingram's name. Like, if the Pelicans really believe in Zion Williamson that he can figure it out and become healthy, do you think that the Pistons could trade the second overall pick for like a Brandon Ingram type player who's on the verge, I think, of being one of those top 15 players in the NBA?
I think they would be more open to trading Zion than they would Brandon Ingram personally.
Interesting. Okay.
And I know that sounds crazy, but I think with Zion, it's the talent's there. It's just the health isn't. And I don't know if it's maybe a mental part of his game because like we see him in, the summer. He looks jacked, looks like he's in the best, kind of like Miguel Cabrera, best shape of his life type of shit. And then he's like overweight by like training camp and stuff. I don't know. I think if you get Zion out of New Orleans, I think he has a better career. That's just my opinion. I've told you that before. But with the Ingram thing, I think Ingram, to me, I think he could be a top 25 player next year. Just because, the offense is there, the defense has gotten better each and every year, and they just have a really nice core down there. All they really need is a point guard. Like, if we're at 2 and they want Scoot, like, you could have that conversation.
So, do you think it would be worth trading? Let's say the Pelicans do say, hey, look, we'll give you Zion Williamson for the number 2 overall pick. And you get Zion, let's just say Zion Williamson's here for like 5 seasons, but you only get 2 healthy seasons from him. Do you think 2 healthy seasons of Zion Williamson with Cade, Jaden Ivey, and Duren would be worth it for the number 2 overall pick?
Oh, 100%.
Okay, that's what I thought too. I think.
Yeah, I mean, like, I know we're talking crazy right now, but it's just like that. These are the hypothetical things that I think about. I was just like, I said, I know the Pistons are going to make a blockbuster trade. I just have a feeling. It's probably not going to be this year, maybe not next year, but soon. Like, it's going to get to the point where you're going to have this young talent and you're going to have to make a move because, like, you're not a LA, you're not a New York. You can't get these, big name free agents. You're going to have to make trades and try to, propel yourself up in the Eastern Conference.